Let's discuss the factorization of quadratic trinomials. We're going to start by looking at the trinomials where the coefficient of x squared is equal to 1. For example, let's say this trinomial x squared plus 3x minus 10. Right, if you check here, the coefficient of x squared is 1. There's an invisible 1 here. So this is what we're going to be discussing. Trinomials where the coefficient of x squared is equal to 1. Then after this, we're going to look at the quadratic trinomials with the coefficient of x squared which are not equal to 1. To factorize a quadratic trinomial, it should always be in standard form. It should always be in standard form. So the standard form is like this: ax squared plus bx plus c. Let's say I have the same expression written like this: 3x minus 10 plus x squared. I cannot factorize it when it's in this form. I have to write it in standard form. I have to start with x squared, then followed by 3x, and then the constant is always the last term. When given, say, 12 plus x squared plus 7x, write the expression in standard form. It is going to be like this. It's in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is equal to 1, b is equal to 7, and c is equal to positive 12. If a trinomial has the highest common factor, start by taking out that highest common factor. Let's say we have 3x squared plus 9x minus 30. We have to check if there's the highest common factor. If you check here, the highest common factor is 3. So we can factor out 3 here and say 3. Then 3x squared divided by 3 is x squared. 9x divided by 3 is 3x. Then negative 30 divided by 3 is negative 10. We factored out the highest common factor, and then we can continue and factorize this quadratic trinomial there. Consider x squared plus 7x plus 12. How do we factorize? So what you do, write down the constant in this case, which is 12, as a product of its factors. So 12 can be 1 times 12, can be 2 times 6, can be 3 times 4, then it can be 6 times 2. 6 times 2 and 2 times 6 is just the same thing. Write the constant, the last term, as a product of its two factors. And then find the two factors that give you the coefficient of x. Okay, the coefficient of x is positive 7. So which two factors will give us what? Will give us 7 if we add them. Positive 3 and positive 4. So these are the two factors that we can use. Positive 2 and positive 6 will give us 8, is out. 1 and 12 will give us 13, is out. We want the pair that is going to give us the coefficient of x, in this case 7. Check that when you multiply these factors, you get the constant. So we want to see if we multiply these factors, do we get positive 12? 3 times 4, we get 12. So these are the factors that we're looking for. And then we use these factors to form our brackets. This is equal to, we have positive 3 here and positive 4. So we form our two brackets, x plus 3, x plus 4, or even x plus 4, x plus 3 is still okay. Let's do examples, and then we're going to discuss how the sign of the constant and the sign of the coefficient of x may assist us to factorize quadratic trinomials. Let's factorize this. A squared plus 5a plus 6. We write 6 as a product of its two factors, and then those two factors must give us 5 if we add them. This positive 6 here means that the two factors have the same sign. Okay, same sign. If the constant is positive, it means the factors have the same sign. Not that they're what? They're positive, no? It can be negative and negative. Okay, but this positive here confirms that that same sign is the positive sign. It means our factors must be the same sign, which is positive. For 6, we can say 1 times 6. then 2 times 3. I think this combination, don't need to go any further, can give us a 5. See that? So now it becomes a plus 2, a plus 3. Okay, 2 plus 2 is 5. 2 times 2 is 6. Therefore, a squared plus 5a plus 6 is equal to a plus 3, then a plus 2. And then here we have negative 60 and negative 7. How do these signs assist us? Negative constant shows us that one factor is positive and then the other factor is negative. If the coefficient of p is negative, it means that the bigger factor is the one which is negative. The bigger factor is negative. We have a combination of 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 times 20 to get 60. Okay, all these combinations cannot give us 7. Then 4 times 15. Then 5 times 12. I think these two can give us a 7 somehow. If one is negative and the other one is positive, right? If we have negative 12 and positive 5. Negative 12 plus 5 is negative 7. Negative 12 times 5, that is negative 60. So the factors should be, right, so we have our two brackets, p plus 5 and then p minus 12. Okay, we have p plus 5 and p minus 12. Let's do this one. This positive means that the two factors are having the same sign. It can be negative, negative, or positive, positive. Then this one confirms that they must be both negative. Okay, so same sign should be negative and negative. And then 28, we want a combination that can give us negative 11. So 28, 1 goes with 28, 2 goes with 14, 4 goes with 7. Right, this combination can give us what? Can give us negative 11. If this one is negative, this one is negative. Same sign. And both of them are negative. So negative 4 times negative 7, that is positive 28. Negative 4 plus negative 7, that is negative 11. So the factors should be in our bracket x minus 4, x minus 7, x minus 4, x minus 7. X minus 7 times x minus 4 is still the same thing. In this one, the sign means that the factors means that one factor is positive, the other factor is negative. And then this one shows us that the bigger factor is one which is positive. So let's write 12. We have 1 times 12. Okay, 2 times 6. These two can give us a 4 if the bigger factor is positive and the smaller factor is negative. 6 times negative 2, that is negative 12. 6 minus 2, that is 4. So these are the two factors, x minus 2, x plus 6. Right, therefore, x squared plus 4x minus 12 is equal to x plus 6, x minus 2. And then we have this one here. It's positive and positive. If we check this one, we talked about this in our previous lessons. We talked about the perfect square trinomials. We talked about the perfect square trinomials. If we check, this is m squared, which is a perfect square. 9 is a perfect square. But let's do it in the normal way and see if we're going to get a square binomial. Positive 9 means that the factors have the same sign, and then positive 6 here confirms that the factors have the same sign, but that sign must be the positive sign. So which factors are those? So 9, we have 1 times 9, and then we have 3 times 3, 3 times 3. Yes, 3 times 3 will give us 9, and then 3 plus 3 will give us 6. So our two brackets will be m plus 3, then times m plus 3, which is m plus 3 squared. This one we have to recognize that there is a highest common factor, which is 3. Factor it out, becomes 3, and then x squared minus x. 3x divided by 3 is x, and then minus 6. And then we look for the factors of negative 6 that will give us negative 1. So it means here one factor is positive and the other factor is negative. And then here the bigger factor is negative. So it's going to be 3. And then the factors should be 1 goes with 6, 2 goes with 3. Or this one we can get a negative 1 here. If this is negative 3, then positive 2. So it should be x minus 3, x plus 2. This one again looks complicated, but remember we're dealing with what? We're dealing with the quadratic trinomials. So we have to write it again in standard form and factorize. So it's going to be x cubed plus 2x squared minus 8x. But if you check x is the highest common factor, we factor it out, x. Then x cubed divided by x, that is x squared. And then positive 2x squared divided by x, that is positive 2x. Then negative 8x divided by x, that is negative 8. And then we can factorize this. We're looking for the factors of negative 8 that will give us positive 2 if you add them. This means that one factor is positive, the other factor is negative. This means that the bigger factor is positive. So 8, we have 1 and 8. We have 2 and 4. We can get 2 from this combination if 4 is positive and 2 is negative. So we can say x and then our 2 brackets, then x minus 2, x plus 4.